In Portugal, there's a YouTube show full of fun facts you need to know. Carl rings the bell and the members show to the GMP morning show. Featured guests will come and they will blow your mind. The audience will do so in kind. The little vanity mixed with some insanity on the morning show with GMP. Hey, Gumpers.
Good morning to you. Hola, bon dia, Algarve. Munson here of expatsportugal.com with the Good Morning Portugal show, live stream and podcast, and another elegant opening there. Who doesn't like an elegant? Yes. How are you? Antonio F, Jean, Laura P, Victoria, of course, the T-Duck, who's been in since the early hours of this morning when I was awake, actually. If you're thinking to yourself, Carl, you look even more tired than usual. There's been an... It feels like an alien visitation has happened in the neighborhood. I will tell you more in just a moment. Stephen, a banana slug. Banana in Portuguese is banana. In British is, oh, James, what are you doing? Stop messing about. Yeah, Laura, did we say hello to Laura? Diego as well this morning. Let me turn those headphones up and have myself nice and loud in the headphones this morning. And yeah, it's all been pretty loud around here, I can tell you. Victoria, maybe for the second time. Owen, good morning, Owen. How was your meteor shower? I'm going to talk to my special guest this morning after 9 about meat, because I know he's a bit partial, but not meat, meteor showers. Did you manage to see anything? I saw some incredible lights in the sky last night. Again, more to follow on that. Coach Turner, thank you for pointing out that I had scheduled the show for tomorrow morning and not today. And Francis is in as well so far this morning. Thank you to each and every one of you for being up and at it early. You Gumpers, you Gumper legends. Looking forward to the weekend here. What are your plans for the weekend? I will take a look at the expat Portugal weather, of course. Well, it's the Portuguese weather from expasportugal.com, where this week, as if you were tuned in earlier on this week, you'll have heard that we have gone up to over 11,000 members at expasportugal.com. Even more than that now. Oh, yes. Very good. And excellent webinar last night with Jacqueline Moulin. Direct and to the point. I do worry if we're going to have a webinar where she covers the points, or even when she's on the show and we're done and dusted. It could be. This is what you need to do for a mortgage, says Jacqueline. Now do it. It could be as simple as that. But I have to eke it out a little bit so we can have a little bit of a chat about her dancing and her next visit to Brazil and that sort of thing. But if you want some excellent and efficient advice about borrowing in Portugal, financing property purchase in Portugal, get in touch with Jacqueline. Great call with her last night. And I will put that video up online over the weekend in the next 24 to 48 hours, which is her turnaround time too. Seems only right that I do that. And then got to show you something of beauty now. The Instagram channel of Car Free Lisbon. This was Julian joined the premium. Well, he stepped into the premium plus chill out zone last night at 9 o'clock, and was telling us about traveling around Lisbon, in and around Lisbon on public transport. And his he's not his website. He will stretch to a website at some point, I understand. But his Instagram channel, which I think is probably the platform that lends itself most admirably to sharing the sort of work that he does, which is taking beautiful photographs of beautiful places that he has got to by public transport. And some of you who've been here forever and ever will remember Julian joining me. I think it was when we used to do an evening show. Anybody remember Good Evening Portugal that we did for a little while? I know a lot of Americans might prefer that. It's quite disruptive to my life in the evenings, but it's not out of the question, of course. You know, anything's possible. Let me just show you some of the beauty that is on the site of, or the Instagram page of Julian, who joined us last night. Really lovely chap. He has a full-time job and he does this as well. And I wonder if I can play. Well, if I scroll down, you'll see here Lisboa car free. And on each of these, tell me when to stop. I'm tuning in to the Gumper audience now, and I'm going to hear when you say stop because there's something you want to. Oh, yes, I heard you. Okay, it was that one, wasn't it, that you liked? And you'll see there on the page that lovely image of possibly Julian's girlfriend looking out the window. Or where is he? Leiria. That's one of the longer trips out of Lisbon then. And he rates the journeys, travel time, the difficulty. That's medium difficulty getting to Leiria from Lisbon. That's, yes, of course, the wonderful castle up on the hill that you see in Leiria. Could be, I mean, at first glance, it could be a number of Portuguese cities, couldn't it? But look at that dished stone in the window seat on the left. The feet of decades and centuries have dished that stonework there, such that people could admire that view and how it's changed over the centuries. Of course, he went by bus. He's telling you on the if you look at this information, travel time 2 hours, difficulty medium for fans of historic cities, enchanting castles, colourful alleys. Bus company Rede Expressos from Sete Rios in Lisbon to Leiria. There you go, and a few hot tips as well. He gives lunch and other recommendations occasionally to do with wine. I know there was a vineyard trip we talked about last night. So there's that. There's the stills, as it were. If you go to he's got guides as well. I'm a big fan. He's got videos, he's got guides, but he's got reels. Now, these are video reels, of course. Look at this place. And I'm wondering if I can share this with you, if you can hear the music of this. Yeah. Pretty special, don't you think? We can stop it there, Tom. It's going round again. Stop! It's going to get me a copyright ban anyway this morning. But isn't that fabulous? There it is. Let me just tell you where to go one more time. Actually, I'll paste that into the chat. That's the thing to do, isn't it? Lisbon by public transport or Lisboa car free. A play on words, of course, because it's Lisboa carefree as well as car free, isn't it? And I think this young gentleman deserves to go far. He's got a full-time job and he does this at the weekends. What a legend. Julian Sorensen, everybody. May I present to you him and his Instagram site, Lisboa _ car free. How beautiful is that? Thanks for joining us last night, Julian. And of course, this morning we are feeling frank as best as we can do across the airwaves like this. Frank joining us from the Algarve, recently back from a visit to Canada. And I'll be asking, does absence make the heart grow fonder? What was it like to be back home? He's a global geezer for sure. But Canada was his most recent home. And I think that's his bosom country, if you like. I don't know. We'll ask him when he joins us at 9 or around 9 this morning. And yeah, thanks again, Ian, for letting us know that I had scheduled the show for tomorrow morning. Great to be here this morning, sexta-feira. And can I just play you something else now? This is quite extraordinary. I went out. I could hear music last night at around the time of doing the webinar and hanging out with the Premium Plus folks. From 9 till 10. Then I had another call from 10 to 10:30 with somebody in the States, helping them move over to Portugal, of course. And I could hear this music. And then I walked the dogs. And this is happening. This was happening at the corner of my street last night. Oh my God. and you know what? They were making that racket. Oh, if you're a Facebook friend of mine, you will have seen that last night I did ask the question. Well, I made the statement. There's something happening at the end of my street for people who don't like music. Oh, I'm a big music lover. I gotta say, I love house music. I love the old days of garage and house, but this trancey drum and bass garage, whatever it is, leaves me cold, and it's quite difficult to sleep through when the purveyors of such a sound system and entertainment experience, which I use the term loosely there, goes on until just after 5 this morning. The children slept through it. The in-laws, I think, mainly slept through it. Mrs. M did not sleep through it. She is mad as hell this morning. She was shouting. I think she's basically out there this morning with a rolling pin in her dressing gown, screaming at the sky, asking them to be quiet. Not like that, I hasten to add, and not such couth language. And that at that moment, apparently, we live next door to the president of San Martino de Porto, and he was seen getting into his car. Now, I don't know if he was scared of Mrs. M or if he was going around to sort it out. I've discovered this morning, I have to say, talking to, actually, I was very proud of myself. I spoke to a security guard who was eating a sandwich outside the gates this morning. Is this happening? Is this música de merda happening esta noite? Sim. E amanhã, sim. Sexta e sábado, more of this to come tonight. So I'm going to get myself some earplugs from the Chinese shop, or Chingo Dos, as I call it. I'm going to go to Chingo Dos today and get myself some earplugs. And yeah, the president was seen getting in his car by Mrs. M, who was stood out there just after 5 this morning in our front garden. Now, I don't know if he's gone to sort it out or if he's driven to his country home to avoid it. We will find out in due course. Walked the dogs there this morning and did hurl a little bit of abuse across the fence to, like some old geezer just muttering under his breath, hoping that my passive aggression would be picked up upon. But these folks are high as a kite this morning, I suspect. They're still up after a night of partying. I don't know how they do it. How do they manage to stay up dancing all night and not get tired? It's incredible, isn't it? Goes against all the laws of nature. Jimmy Chu and Peggy, or Jimmy showed his appreciation of the event, which I've captured for you there. That's his statement. That's just the campsite where all the revelers are. And yeah, quite an interesting couple of days, well, couple of nights ahead of us this evening. So let's see how everybody is this morning. Oh, before I go there, actually, I've got one question to ask you. Has anyone actually answered this? What is a woman called that jumps from one man to another? What is this? Why is this even on social media? And Carl, just thinking about it, why have you even mentioned it here? This is crazy, isn't it? But has this sort of bugged you slightly as it has me? And what is a woman that jumps from one man, full stop, period, to another is called? Is it another joke I've missed? A hands down joke. And I forgot to share this with you from the meetup on Wednesday. The young lady in the cafe. I think I'm of an age where I can refer to young ladies as young ladies. And she served my coffee and she said, I put a smiley face on it for you. How sweet is that? Thank you very much. I don't know your name, but thank you to the young lady at Palmero, one of Nelson's team down there. Lovely people, lovely young people who work for Nelson down at the bay there. I don't think his wife likes me. I'm not sure what it is, but I intend to get to the bottom of it. Maybe the others who come to the meetup can help me get to the bottom of that. Carl, what's this? Is this a complaint about my complaining, perhaps? Why are you complaining? They even play music to help you sleep. Later. Yes, very funny. Very funny, Antonio. She is called regularly. What? Is that something else I've missed this morning? This morning of all mornings, I'm not going to be on my complete metal. Is that the right way of expressing that? Let's go to your comments, please, then, this morning. And dad jokes to ease us into the weekend. Will Rogers quotes and a bit of growing old disgracefully from the coach as well. Bom dia, Gumpers. Feliz sexta a todos. The only day with sex in it. Sexta-feira. Que tem feito? Very good, Banana Slug. Thank you for that. And straight into your Will Rogers quote of the day, then. We do have a deep thought, too, from Elon Musk this morning. And that he's a Marmite character. I know some of you are going, oh, Elon, we so love you and your cars and you're going to save the world and everything like that. Entrepreneur from Porto. But no, he's not really from Porto. But yes, he is a top entrepreneur. And others will be going, Elon Musk, really? It takes a lifetime to build a good reputation, but you can lose it in a minute. I live on that. I live on that. Happened ages ago for me. Thank you for that reminder. Will Rogers and Banana Slug. Bon dia, wakey, everyone. Hope you all had a great night's sleep. Yes, very funny. You as well, Stephen as Wells. Yeah. Bon dia, Algria Gumpers from T-Duck. Busy day for us. Won't be able to stay for the entire show. However, here to purvey deep thoughts of the day and dad jokes. Should we get into those early? It'll help keep me awake. If I start laughing, it will help on all sorts of levels, not least to stop my eyelids closing through sleep deprivation. I was thinking, when you're sleep deprived, and there's nothing you can do about this music that's coming, and it felt like quite the imposition, I have to say. And I was thinking of all sorts of revenge tactics, and it's beneath me, isn't it? Revenge is beneath me, of course. But I did think of driving past later today when all the campers are sleeping after their night out last night. Literally a night out on the old football pitch there, raving away as they were. And I was thinking, I'll take my portable PA around there, and I'll have the windows open, and I'll play Tiny Tim's "Tiptoe Through the Tulips" over and over again. But that'll be quite unpleasant for me and all of my neighbors. And then my neighbors will hate me as well as the revelers from last night. Anyway, on to Elon Musk. Deep thought of the day from Elon. Do we need to, is that the right jingle for a deep thought of the day? Anyway, Elon, for you, deep thought of the day. If life is a video game, graphics are great, but the plot is confusing and the tutorial is way too long. Do you like your advice and your life insights from Elon? And I'm sure is his name based on some sort of anagram? Anagrams of Elon Musk. We've never really talked about anagrams here. They can be a lot of fun, can't they? And there's probably an anagram dad joke. Watch out for it. It may be coming up. Portuguese saying of the day then. These are great. Oh, Mia and I got our wires crossed. It was always a bad idea to say, join me on the 5th Friday of the month, which I think it is today, when she thinks it's the 5th Friday, and I think it's the last Friday, and all sorts of confusion ensues, including the fact that she's not here today. So we'll go with this Portuguese saying of the day. Loved the one yesterday, and I dare say I'm going to love this one as well. It's got bosom in it. Tee-hee. That's the second time bosoms have been mentioned this morning, isn't it? Meta mal em toiseo now dirsh do fado alheio. Put your hand in your bosom. You will not speak of someone else's fate. Forget others' faults, remembering your own. Forgive and forget. And that is actually the approach I've taken with the revelers. Can't say the same for Mrs. M. When I told her it was happening tonight and tomorrow night, she was mad. She got real mad. But I have to put this advice into practice. I have been a young reveler myself. I have been a pain in other people's bottoms as a younger man, wandering about town late at night. Running through cabbage patches and stuff like that. A lot of us have done that, haven't we? So we can't get too eggy when it's our turn to lie in bed at night being tortured by the youngsters. Laura P, bon dia, sunny and cool at Albufeira. Nice fresh wind. It was like Albufeira here last night, Laura P. Thank you, T-Duck, by the way, for that wonderful Portuguese saying of the day. Okay, it's time for some of this. We'll have some fun with this. I didn't get as much appreciation as I would have liked for my Portuguese dad joke yesterday. I shall repeat it and see if I could give myself one of these even before I say it. I think it's that good. What do you call two Portuguese dinosaurs who look the same? Iguanodons. I think it's probably more. Okay, dad jokes then. I didn't. Sorry if I took you by surprise there. I should have played this.
Warning.
Oh no! A dad joke warning. A truck overloaded with Vicks Vapor Rub. Hopefully that's an international thing and everybody understands the hot liquid that you rub into your chest. I kind of wish I hadn't said that. A truck overloaded with Vicks Vapor Rub overturned on the highway. Amazingly, there was no congestion for up to 8 hours. Yes! And my boss asked me why I only get sick on work days. I said it must be my weekend immune system. My weakened immune system. Yes! Okay, sorry. Bear with. What did the photon say to the hotel bellhop? This is teenagers, isn't it? This level of dad joke. No luggage. I'm traveling light. Oh, my goodness. And I used to run a dating service for chickens, says T-Duck. But I was struggling to make hens meet. Yes, very good. A beautiful smattering of dad jokes this morning. Very, very good. Enjoyed those. I hope you did too. Keep them coming, T-Duck. Bon dia, Carl. T-Duck, what a ledge. He's not even going to be here for the whole show, but he's made sure we have heard the words of wisdom of Elon Musk, had a Portuguese saying, and a smattering of dad jokes. Smattering is too polite a collective noun for dad jokes. I mean, it's a groan of dad jokes, isn't it, I suppose? Bon dia, Carl and Gumpers. It's sunny in Belfast this morning, where we're hoping for a hot weekend, 21 to 23 degrees. We will do that weather, I promise you, this morning for Portugal. Thank you for that forecast for Belfast as well. Good morning to you, Deagle. And bon dia todos from Antonio F. How are you this morning? And Victoria from Portimao. I think you might have liked the rave last night, Victoria. Hola, bon dia, kids from sunny Portimao. The music, Mrs. M, at 11 minutes past 5. So she said there's been a minute of silence now. And I was thinking, well, that's because music died last night here in San Martino de Porto. But no, the minute silence lasted until now, but it will start again this evening. I think Morelli's are thinking of checking into a hotel. Laura P, bon dia, Vic, for you, Victoria from Laura P, and Jean, hola todos, feliz sexta-feira this morning. And hey, banana is in British banana, Portuguese. What are you talking about, Steve and banana? What's going on? Heat wave, yes, of course, for this weekend and next week. Thank you, Antonio F. We'll take a look at that, because when I looked at the weather for the week, it was a fairly mild week in many ways, but the hot weather was coming certainly for Sunday, wasn't it? Let's see if that weather picture's changed in a little while. Hola, bon dia, Owen. Yes, did you get any action last night of the meteoric kind? I wonder. I suspect you'll answer that question in just a little while. Let's have a little bit of Darth Vader now. Let's sit on Darth Vader's face. From the Darth Vader scales of just is, and that's how it is, isn't it, when it comes to weight? It just is. That's data, pure data right in front of you. That's, of course, if the Salter scales that do look like Darth Vader's flattened face are telling the truth. They probably are. And here is, if you're worried about your weight and your general sense of fitness, we keep coming at you with a tip of the day. God Squad style, growing old disgracefully, gentle fitness for bon viveurs. Fitness watches are great. But, and is it a big but, I wonder? For me, the most useful info is resting heart rate. It provides a great indicator of health and lets you know when you've been overdoing the bon viveur bit. Could you say more? So is a high resting heart rate the thing you want to be alert to and avoid? I suspect it is, but I guess too low as well. What's your optimum there? Or is that going to depend and vary from person to person, Coach Turner? Never had a fitness watch. Me father-in-law and mother-in-law, who are with us at the moment, they do have these very smart Star Trek style watches. I haven't had a watch for a long time, and I'm unlikely to get scales or a fitness watch, but I do understand the appeal. They monitor their sleep, you know, but maybe I'm really behind the times. As I've told you before, I'm not an early adopter of technology often. Took me a long time to get a CD for the first time. Loved it after I did, and then it was already changing into MP3s. Glow sticks, not required. Yeah, go on, you lot, rub it in. I'm with Jimmy Chu on this, and his assessment of what was going on around the corner. Yeah, Jimmy, stick it to the man. And coming up quite soon, here he is. Thumbs up from Frank. Spotted in Lisbon recently. We'll find out why in just a moment. Not his natural habitat, but still looking quite comfortable nonetheless. Frank will be with us as we hang out on this Feel Good Friday morning. Very cloudy, not happy. Yes, the clouds made a very good backdrop for the lasers and Super Trooper lights that were in use last night at the Rave. That explains the lack of notifications. Yes, indeed. You got to shake it up. You got to keep people on their toes, Stephen. Didn't do it on purpose. Connie, yes. Hank is still data processing. Yeah. We mention Hank quite a lot, don't we, in the mornings? Not that he's ever here or probably ever even hears about it. Connie, good morning to you. Sorry if I missed. Oh, happy Friday. Thank you. Bon dia. Oh, happy Friday from Connie. And Hank still drooling and snoozing. Can we have a picture of him asleep? He won't mind, will he? And maybe try that trick. Is it true? We could find out with Hank, couldn't we? If you put somebody's finger in a glass of water while they're asleep, sometimes they do a little wee-wee in the bed. Should I have not said that? Or should we try that? Should we do a little prank on a Hank prank? I'm going to change the subject. Cooey from the Algarve, not far from the Silverfish. Oh dear, what's going on down there, Elaine? I've taken my eye off the ball just recently with this. I'm sorry to say. But a word from you then. Not been out as don't currently have wheels, but told it was very nasty. Okay, we need to look at ProSif and Fogosh then this morning to keep you properly updated on this. Going from the ridiculousness of Hank pranks to the seriousness of fires here in Portugal, which we will keep you up to date on. With that. So thank you for that prompt, Elaine. Thankfully, no injuries to humans, at least. Well done on 11,000 plus members here at expatsportugal.com. Cheers, Elaine. Thank you very much. Pamela, very important part of the Expats Portugal community, one of the Ask Our Expats team. Great volunteer here in Portugal, great Portuguese speaker, and font of all knowledge and wisdom over there on the Silver Coast, or in this Silver Coast over there in Alcobaça. Morning to you, Pam. My favorite moment is Friday at 6 p.m. Is that when you clock off? Or is that another dad joke that I've missed? Remember, happiness is always a choice. Sometimes you just don't want to hear that, right? But I guess it's true. Ian, what would be... okay, yeah, that was my question as well. What should your resting heart rate be? Hopefully we'll get some data on that. Data if you're from Porto, data if you're from Her Majesty's United Kingdom, where the Commonwealth Games began, I think, yesterday, was it the day before? Bon dia, Gumpers. How are you? Pips, thank you for being here this morning from Botswana. Banana, I think, from Owen, for some reason. Bon dia, Gumpers from Suze. Look at you, van camping again. I like your new motor. Here for a wee moment. Does that mean no? It can't. Still 3:30 over there in Canada. Van camping again. Made it to Thunder Bay and at Walmart. A wee moment sounds a little bit like it could be connected to making it to Thunder Bay as well. But I think that's probably a place called Thunder Bay. Was nervous, but have met neighbors in the lot. They're headed to British Columbia too. It's going to be a convoy. Yes, we got a convoy. And smokies as big as bugs on a buffer. It looks like we got us a convoy there, Suze, you and Taxi. Great to hear from you both. How are you? Bon dia from Sarah as well, and Stubel this morning. How's it going? Yeah, like many things, especially here in Portugal, your resting heart rate depends. It's very age and gender dependent. But the low 60s, I do beg your pardon, is good for, you could say I'm obsessed, couldn't you? But the low 60s is good for a non-athlete. That's going to be most of us, I suspect then. Mine tends to be low to mid 50s. So what you've done to yourself over the years then, Coach Turner, has expanded or changed your metabolic rate, presumably, and all those other metabolic matters. And I'm in danger of sounding like I know what I'm talking about, and then not quite by the end of this sentence. But I think because you're athletic, your heart, because you made your heart strong and fit, your heart rests at a lower rate, mid 50s. But that's still incredible, isn't it? What can we consider the miracle for a moment? And I must trim my eyebrows looking at myself on the screen here, or at least comb them down a bit. That's another evidence of a sleepless night. Erect eyebrows. What's that about? Hair raising eyebrows. Anyway, sorry. Yes, what were we saying? Yes, the miracle of the heart. There it is, beating away all of your life so far. Isn't it incredible? Isn't it incredible? I mean, I do make the point sometimes, don't we, that a life has become quite unsacred. It's very perfunctory, functional, rational, and we forget about the miracles of life. And then, people are looking for miracles like bleeding statues and things like that. Fair enough. But you are a living miracle, my friend, with that beating heart of yours and what it does, pumping the blood around the body, the fact that you can do anything, the fact that we could all be here this morning. Isn't it beautiful? Isn't it miraculous? Yes. Okay. Andy's here as well. Hola, bon dia. Missed a few as my mate mullered his hand. Ooh. I hope he's okay. So I volunteered to help at his shop workshop, forgot what hard work was like. Well, we're so sorry to hear that you've had to work this week, Andy. That must have been very, very challenging. You thought you'd put that behind you, didn't you? But good on you, mate. Thank you for being here this morning, and we hope your mate's okay. Might have been a horrible sleep night. It really was. But don't worry, Sabado, not Sabado. Okay. So there I am, feeling sorry for myself, and he's just correcting my pronunciation. Sábado. Thank you very much, Antonio. None taken. Good morning, Victoria from Owen as well. Bon dia, Alegria Gumpers from Cindy B and Roving J with us again. How lovely to see you, Roving J. I was in Silversh this week. The fire has been brought under control. Fantastic. And the skies are no longer filled with smoke over on Cabanas. Very good. Good to hear that. We will check again. Stephen Wells, she's a personal assistant. No. Who is this you're talking about? Carl, are you going to the crazy mass spin class in San Martino de Porto? No, I am not. How very dare you think anything like that about me? I'm not quite sure even what that is. Pam, spin class. Is that where you sit on one of those bikes that doesn't go anywhere? I don't know. Call me old fashioned, but I think going rowing inside a gym, cycling inside a gym, skiing inside a gym, and not actually getting anywhere is one of those signs that we live in a crazy time. And I do not want any part of it, quite frankly. I've got a bicycle, and if there's any spinning to be done of those wheels, they will be taking me into town. And madam, you can keep your spin class. Anyway, thank you for this. Again, none taken, Pam. And are you coming to the crazy mass spin class? It sounds like something I might video for me. Instagram, my YouTube, my Signal, my Telegram, my Facebook, and any other platforms that I can think of. Leon, then, very good. Very good and quick on the uptake there for Elon. Leon, very good. And can you mix in the musky part as well? Do like a bit of musk. Bon dia, Gumpers. Carl, you need to embrace the spirit of the festive throng. You know what? I'm finding you all very unsympathetic this morning, and I might just stop and go because I'm quite sick of how badly you're treating me this morning. But I'm not going to really because my old mate Frank is here. He's going to join me on the screen now. Frank, you can show me some love and sympathy, can't you? Frank, reporting for GP. How are you, my friend?
Always, brother. How are you doing? Good morning. Who's giving you a hard time? Whose knees do I need to break this morning?
Just how big is that cup and what's in it?
It's tea in it.
Tea, lovely big mug.
It's a very good cure for the jet lag hangover.
Well, that's one of the many things we'll be asking you about this morning. Oh, another anagram. Look, we were talking about Elon Musk. Lemon suck is an anagram of Elon Musk. Are you a fan of the gentleman, the said gentleman?
Yeah, why not? What has he done? He's done all this stuff.
Yeah, why not? Fantastic. Okay, it's so good to see you. It's been a month or thereabouts because you join us as a monthly visitor, and we're so glad of that. And you've been on your travels, right? What have you been up to?
I have been traveling to Canada, the United States, going to visit family and friends, and it's been a very topsy turvy kind of trip, but loads of fun. Loads of fun, not as in traveling, but loads of fun as in meeting or seeing people that I haven't seen in 2.5 years.
Yes,
but
amazing.
The travel bit is not fun at all.
No, so if we could address each of those bits, and in anticipation of a lot of people doing this on the screen. Frank, and telling me the heart is sentient as well. We'll get to all of that. That's fantastic. But traveling, not much fun then, you say, at the moment. What happened?
Yes, first of all, before I start anything, a big thumbs up and thank you to Mr. Andy Pertulish for helping me out on the other night. And by helping me out, I really, the guy is a superstar. Love the guy.
What happened?
Showed up and got me out of my Lisbon airport mess.
Okay. Everyone needs a buddy who will help them out of a Lisbon airport mess, right?
Absolutely. And especially if it's the kind of mess where you missed your flight because it was changed 2 or 3 times. And then your stuff is being directed to your final destination and you missed your flight. And now you're dealing with the chaos of standing in front of one representative for all these people. After 3 hours, your turn comes, and the person is just not having it.
That job must be pretty horrible. I mean, I'm not defending their bad behavior or rudeness or whatever, but can you imagine what it must be like to be in that job at the moment?
Well, it is. The only thing is that if it was a bit organized, it'd be a bit manageable. but it's not, and it's just badly done. And you can say the same thing practically for any airport in the world these days. Pearson Airport, pretty much the same idea. Lisbon Airport, any civilized country, that's what's going on. It's not as if it's not as if you are like at Kabul Airport. You're at Lisbon Portela.
Yes. So not impressed with what's going on at Lisbon then. And so they lost your stuff because there's quite a mountain of luggage that needs to be reunited with its owners there, I think, at the moment.
Well, there's a happy ending to the story, as I was able to go to the Faro Airport yesterday. Absolutely, because and I use the term happy ending very carefully because I know you're into it. So I was like, happy endings.
Yes.
So Faro Airport went in and had an instinct. Well, actually, my wife had the instinct that you should go over there because your stuff would have been directed over there. Went in, and this, as all things are in Algarve, sunny and beautiful, and the people were beautiful at the airport. It's a wonderful airport. You should definitely go. It's so nicely done, that airport. I can't say enough good things about that airport. So went in and got myself a pass. And they take you straight into the arrivals area where your luggage comes in, and right next to it is all the luggage that's piled up and whatever. And you get to look at, hey, if your stuff is here, just go in and pick it up, and they match it with the tags that you've got, and you're good to go from there.
Oh, okay. So there you go. Algarve, Faro, 10 out of 10 again. A lot of trouble at Lisbon, no trouble in the Algarve, blah, blah, blah. Isn't the Algarve great? Okay. Although I had my taste of Albufeira last night. For those of you who weren't watching earlier on, and I'm not sure you'll have seen
Is that what you're calling a new sandwich? Oh, no, it's the town you're talking about.
What, Albufeira? Did I pronounce that correctly? Anyway, this is this is what I imagine. This is what some people, there's memes that says, this is what I think I do. This is what my friends think I do. This is what I actually do. This is what I think the Algarve might be like most nights, right? Oh, we're back. Is that what it's like?
So you were the guy in there doing this? Because I think this is Mrs. Munson doing the video, right?
No, I'm sad to say I am the miserable old sod who was walking his dogs and photographing it and being disgusted at the same time. Music died last night in San Martino de Porto. That was awful. The music was awful. And that went on until 5 a.m. Now, what we need here, I think, because I'm not getting much sympathy from anybody this morning, we need strategies for dealing with loud music that goes on until 11 minutes past 5 a.m. How do you do it down there in the south of Portugal?
I have a lot of sympathy for you. Over here, we obviously, when you live inside of the town and not in the touristy area, you will never experience anything like this. Yeah. But if you were to experience it, I don't know. If violence is always the answer, you know that. If there is no violence, then you need to go and have a chat with someone, because there are noise bylaws. So no one. I saw Mrs. Munson's, and I completely sympathize with you guys. I don't know what these other folks are on about. I don't know if someone was to put a large boombox right in front of their house, how they would react. And that's actually not music. What that is sound pollution. So if you were going to have that kind of sound pollution right in front of your house, then someone's house needs to burn into that house where the music is coming from.
Yes, what Frank said. Absolutely. Have you got a new pet that's just come in through the door behind you?
Not necessarily. It's the door, and it's the pet might be the wind.
It had all the signs of a little cat or a dog pushing the door open and coming in.
No, we haven't gotten the pet yet. That is the next thing to do. Pardon?
thank you, Frank, so much for your sympathy and understanding on this matter, because it was
Oh,
it was
yeah.
quite the imposition, and I did slide down a slippery slope of violent thoughts on what I might do. I was going to play them Tiny Tim Tiptoe Through the Tulips, park my car up next to the campsite, and then play that over and over again. But that would just adds trouble, doesn't it? You don't want to be adding trouble to trouble. You don't want hot words, I don't think. And this is as far as it got. I took Jimmy out this morning, and he gave his thoughts on the campsite this morning.
Absolutely.
So I feel like we've
What you need is a baseball bat in one hand and a very, very stern face. You go and show up over there, and you go, "Who's having it now? Like, where do we start? Like, where do I start whacking the weeds here?"
I don't think I could carry that off, that particular strategy. But thank you for the suggestion, Frank. Really appreciate it. Apparently, though, look, we will get more. I think we're going to get more counsel and support on this matter. I knew we would get some help with this morning. Mrs. M, I hope you tuned in. In some ways, I hope she isn't, because she's still kind of mad, Frank. I have neighbors who have their own personal stage shows from home all day long, every weekend. How have you learned to cope with that then, Banana Slug? And from Sweden this morning, Frank, look, Anna's tuning in from Sweden, Bon dia Algria, this morning. And look, I'm being accused of repeating my material. Didn't you do the dinosaur joke yesterday? Yes. Actually, I laughed, but then I'm sleep deprived. There's a damned by faint praise, I think, there. I'm going to, just for you, Suzanne, I'm going to try it for a third time. Frank, what do you call two Portuguese dinosaurs that look like each other?
What?
Iguanodons.
Ooh.
Hey, see, he laughed. And we didn't set that up ahead of time. Banana in British is, do they have their balcony door open? That's some sort of euphemism, I suspect. I don't know what's happening in that conversation. Carl, doctors change next week across the NHS that both Frank and I are familiar with at some time in our lifetime. First Wednesday in August every year. What's that? Is that when your doctor can see you? More deaths in hospital this week due to mistakes than any other week. Well, that's a cheerful thought. That's iatrogenics, isn't it? That's rather sobering. Okay. I see. When the doctor...
Isn't it kind of semantics? Because we could go throughout this entire pandemic thing, and we could be like, all right, you know what? This week more people died because of this. That week more people died because of this. If we start comparing dead people, then we would be extremely miserable. Let's not be going on about the NHS. Let's talk about something.
Frank, you have just had a frank response there to that information, but I do get it. It's when the doctors change over in their positions and the implications of doing that. But that would make quite the movie. I think you said I compare dead people. It's not quite the same as I see dead people, is it? I compare dead people. The new movie from Bruce Willis, called Iatrogenics. The Alcabasa Feira this year is literally on my doorstep. Not expecting any sleep week on to 4 a.m. every day. Yeah, but what I would say, Pam, is that I think I could cope with gentle battle pay, and some folk traditional music and a bit of fado.
Country music that plays, like nice, and you're going around.
Yes,
it's people are having some wine, people are having some conversation. In between this, there's not any conversation happening. It's pills being thrown around.
It was intense. It was like machine gun fire with the kind of dubstep beats and stuff. And
if I was there, things would be different. You know that. Heads would be rolling literally.
Yes, that's right. And you would have gone around with your T-shirt and said, "This, my friends, is music." And
absolutely.
Yes. Okay. With your 80s Walkman in one hand and your baseball bat in the other. I think they put their Colosseum-sized PA out on their balcony to entertain the entire neighborhood. Well, that's very generous, and I'm hoping the repertoire is a little more varied than we were experiencing last night. Oh, here we go. There. Apparently, the law doesn't restrict noise until 10 p.m. Well, yeah, that's fair enough. The GNR have been called so much that the new noise now ceases only at 10. This went on way after 10 until 5 this morning. A Hank prank, nicely done. I see we're in Frank's company now, so we can have a Hank prank. I'm suggesting Hank sleeps in, right? You remember Hank's Danica, of course. Now he's asleep, and I'm suggesting to Connie that she puts his finger in a glass of water while he's asleep and see if that thing happens that they used to say would happen when we were teenagers. Did you ever prank anybody in that way?
No, this is quite unique, and it's a very Munson kind of thing to do. I'm willing to listen. What did you do? Did you like put some like an electrode in there or something and get
No,
them
no,
really
no, no, no,
going?
no electricity involved. That would be a cruel. This is a prank, not a sort of ritual humiliation. There's a thin line, isn't there? So the trick of the hand. See, Antonio's done it. The hand on the glass of water during the night might work. What happens is, Frank, is that the person becomes aware of their finger in the glass, and then they urinate it spontaneously. And I'm not. I think that probably is ritual. I think we should just shave one of his eyebrows off. Maybe that would be much kinder.
Oh, shame. That's like,
Both.
like a person must have, a person would have to play that awful music in order to shave both their eyebrows off. But, don't do that.
Just not sink that low. Another possibility.
That kind of person needs to have a lot of things shaved in one go.
You know what? Antonio's like the guys in the, the electricity, the psychological electricity trick, where they say, they don't know who you are. You can turn up the electricity. Really? Right up. And now Antonio's right in on this and suggesting we might change. So the sound of pouring water might have the same effect. Poor old Hank, honestly. Bon dia from Amelie Kelly from Korea, still from Korea. What's going on with you there, Amelie? Great to see you here this morning. However, wherever you are, it's great to see you, and interested to know how it's going with your process in Korea, your Korea move. I think I might have said that before. Sending love to Mrs. M and anyone who missed their sleep last night. I hope the small people they slept right through it. No problem with the kids. Maybe you all need to head away for a couple of days. Where would you suggest, Frank, if we were to get away for a few days?
Stop it, you. Stop it.
Bon dia, todos, from Jack Polly. Who
that
would
should
also
not even be a question in your mind.
Yeah, indeed. Your Algarvian pal there, Jack, of course. It's
Hey, Jack, how you doing? I haven't seen you in a while. Causing trouble all over town, I hear.
Yes, it says 24-hour spin class on the beach. But yes, I agree. Spin is evil. I think it's tonight at 2200. So it's a busy night in the bay. You've got the Rave on the corner on the impromptu campsite. And we've got a 24-hour spin class. Would you be seen on a bicycle, Frank, that doesn't go anywhere?
No, my bicycle goes places. So
same here.
It's
That's
not
what I'm saying. Yeah. Rowing machines, skiing machines, bicycling machines. What is the point of that? You might as well go and row or cycle or cross.
Well, what if you don't have the rowing machine? What if you don't have like a body of water around? So rowing machine, I understand, but a bicycle that doesn't go anywhere, it's that's kind of illegal. That should not.
I can't believe you would make excuses for rowing machines. And that other one, the cross dresser, that thing.
The elliptical machine. You got a problem with the elliptical machine? Seriously?
Yes.
What is the problem with the elliptical machine? Like, what's going on?
Why do that? The heart is also sentient. It communicates to the brain and body and has multiple times stronger EMFs, more than the brain does. When will we realize that we've got three brains? We've got the brain, the heart brain, and the gut brain, haven't we? And the world will be a better place, I think. Oh, Leon Scum. Not a fan. Possibly. Look, Will's here as well. Another lovely day. Is everyone peeing on plastic bottles yet? What?
Oh,
that's disgusting.
There we go.
The newbie wants to know. Oh, you can answer this yourself. The newbie wants to know why Frank is a legend.
I'm not answering that one.
No, a legend. You've passed the test, and legend would never answer that question, would they? Yes, far too modest and legendary to answer the question there. Emily, stay tuned, and you'll find out. Oh, yay, it's Frank. Hey, Frank, you're going to need a bigger freezer. What?
Really? Oh, we're going that way these days. Eh? Oh, nice one.
Really? I guess Kabul Airport has a great customer service. I think we get the comparison there. Why didn't Portugal just try cloud seeding this year, says Will. Oh, Will is, I think, quite his imagination is quite fervent this morning. Predictions in winter.
It's qualified to make these comments. I'm like, I completely get what he's talking about. I don't know what cloud seeding is, but because you and I can sit over here and come up with ideas. Unless Will wants to elaborate on what cloud seeding is.
Well, he says predictions. Okay, tell us, Will. What is that? It's a meteorological technology, I think, isn't it? Predictions. It's like rain making scientifically. Predictions in winter from scientists and me said incoming drought. That's why I wasn't using the shower every day. Whoa, Will, what's going on? There's a drought on, don't you know?
Yeah, there you go.
Love Albufeira. Yes, I know. We were just having a bit of fun, aren't we, about the
Hey,
Algarve?
Victoria. What I love about Victoria is she loves everything about Algarve. This is like this lady travels around. There's not a piece of Algarve that she does not like.
Yeah.
There are a few places that for me wouldn't work, but Victoria loves everything about Algarve.
Okay, interesting. I never thought I'd hear you say that. Beja Airport has no delays. Next time flying to Beja, the issue is it doesn't have regular flights. Maybe it doesn't have any flights.
Where's Beijing again?
But I think it's in that Alentejo bit. You know that great big bit between Lisbon and where you live.
Yeah, okay.
Driven
So
through
like big jets can land over there?
I don't think so. No, only our private jets are allowed there, Frank. Frank, good to see you. You sound like you are in an echo chamber. Now, I don't know if she means
Yes, I apologize. I haven't set up the studio very well. I just arrived and I was like, I gotta join Carl Munson and see what's going on. But yeah, it does sound like an echo chamber over here.
I thought she meant socially.
Get the studio.
This is a social and philosophical echo chamber possibly as well. Oh no, Will's here to open our envelope a little bit, using another metaphor there. But Suze, yeah, Canada. That's a good cue to talk about Canada and going to the United States. How was it, Frank? This is an interesting situation. I think a few people are going to find themselves in as expats here in Portugal. They're going to be going home. Did absence make the heart grow fonder? And what's it like to come back from the old home to the new home? What's that process been like for you?
Yeah, don't miss as much as I love my country. Don't miss living in Canada. Things are so expensive. There's something called inflation, and there is something called, I don't know. I used a very vicious word the other day, which I won't use on air. But it's really, people are bleeding from certain places. It's not a good scene. Just to give you an example, a bag of onions with like 6 onions in it for $6. It's these are people who are like, my mother is a pensioner, people who live over there, and they have to make do. Salaries have not gone up. It's suddenly these things have gone up, and as we know, when prices go up like this, it's not as if when the inflation bit is done, the prices will come down. It's just it will stay there.
Yeah,
and this is just an excuse to. Well, we've got a remarkable prime minister, Mr. Timberlake, and he has failed in so many ways because he's more interested in having a Benetton family as far as government is concerned, rather than just hiring competent people to run the government. I don't care if it's 6 white guys running the country, 6 Chinese guys running the country, 6 anyone from anywhere running the country, as long as they're all competent. So why can't we just have that instead of having 2 women, 2 guys, and whatever, and all of them incompetent, instead of just having 5 regular normal people running the country properly? Yeah. This is the biggest thing that's happening in governments over there. And that's why people are very peeved. Almost everyone I spoke to wants to come to Portugal, but obviously does not have the resources. We've got a few converts.
Wow.
So it's not very good. And going to the States, I went to Chicago for a day. It was very nice seeing my dad and everything. But every cab that I sat in, everyone that I had a conversation with, it was the same thing. The person would not talk about the weather, that it was hot or it was cloudy or anything, as you do in cabs. The conversation usually was, oh my God, gas is expensive. This is what's going on. It's on people's minds. It's horrible. People are not relaxed. People are just trying to feed their families. And I'm sorry to bring serious stuff onto the
absolutely fine. Yeah.
But it's kind of sad.
Yeah. And I'm imagining then people were glad to see you. Man, you're looking so good. What's your secret? And I guess you're a sight for sore eyes over there. And that's home, North America. Then how is that, having been away 2.5 years, I think you said, from that,
Mhm.
and then coming back to what is home now? Was it just a massive sigh of relief and, lovely to take in the sunshine and the relative calm of Portugal?
Absolutely. Not just anyone who comes over here and complains about, oh, they don't have the kind of Heinz ketchup that I've got back in Canada or the States, or the McDonald's quarter pounder is not still the same. I'm just like, and I'll be frank again. I'm just like, stay home.
Yeah,
Don't
stay
come over
home.
here because this is not the place for those kinds of complaints. You should be thankful that we actually should be thankful that we've been given a place in this wonderful country for us to make a home over here in
Yeah.
sunshine, beauty, all that is Portugal.
Fique en casa, you folks that he's talking to there, you know who you are. Okay, thank
This
you for that.
is home. It's a wonderful, beautiful place. Make it home and don't be going on about what was back home. Make this your home.
All right, there you go. Another frank response. That's why he's the legend, Emily. Okay, violence is the answer. No, it's not. Or earplugs. You could try earplugs. Okay, yeah, that is what I'm going. Like I said, I'm going to Chingados and I'm going to get the earplugs. Only one strategy. Coming back to my problems. Thank you. Only one strategy. If you can't beat them, join them. I can't, Pamela. The music is so awful, and I know that dates me and makes me sound like an old fart. But
It
that music
doesn't.
has so little to. I mean, look at Frank's T-shirt. I'm not a massive Bowie fan, but I'd rather listen to Bowie from 10 last night till 5 this morning than I would that caper that was coming across the airwaves from the.
This is music.
Proper music.
This is what we're talking about. This is proper music. That is sound pollution to the worst degree. You go in and this is all electronic garbage. You need to. Everyone needs to be set on fire, sent to school again.
Okay, sent to school to learn about music. Frank, if they want to have a rave and they do it a long way away, I'm good with that. Or a nightclub environment, or a deserted country place away from other people who don't want to have to listen to it. That's my beef with them. Join them.
It's called a bonfire, morons. Get a bonfire in the middle of nowhere and play that
Actually,
stupidity, and we'll be
no,
fine.
not at the moment, Frank. Join them, dance, party, get tired, and we'll sleep better, no matter the noise. Antonio, I don't know. I just want to invite you here at 3 this coming tomorrow morning, so you can hear it for yourself. Everybody who thinks I should be sleep during the day, dance all night long. I love how practical they are being very practical, aren't they?
Yeah.
Hi, Frank, from Jack, Vic, Owen, Idoros. Carl, you're grumpy. We don't do grumpy in Portugal. You, Jack Polly, this morning. Carl, he's sounding like Darth Vader. I find your Algarve prejudice disturbing.
Yes, Andy, give it to him.
The force is strong in the Algarve. I know that. Sleep calling me now. Miss you guys. Miss you too, Suze. Hope to hear from you soon. Yes, now. Find the power box. That did go through my mind.
Good answer, Antonio.
Using the force. Now, I think the president is an electrician as well, and you'd think he'd know how to do that. But my fear is when he got into his car at 5 this morning, well, I thought he was going to go to the GNR and sort it out. I think he's just driven to his country home, and he's not going to come back until Monday. Could have taken us with him. Algarve is no San Martino de Porto. What? That hurts. On the 11th of August, Wednesday, a chance to observe one of the most spectacular astronomical phenomena this summer, a meteor shower from the Perseids. Lagoa de Óbidos, taken from Green Trekker. Do you like the night sky, Frank?
I do like the night sky, especially if it's clear and there are no clouds.
You get a nice view of that.
I'm not going to say Algarve again because it's going to get
we know you're exactly going to say the Algarve again. Twinkling on the water there, I suspect as well. It sounds beautiful. Light pollution, what's that like in the Algarve? Can you get to see the night sky, even though there's lots of lights on the strips there and a lot of settlements and towns?
What kind of, do you think we all live in the red light district? No, man, this is like fun. This is there's no light pollution. You can see the sky. You can be in peace somewhere if you're a little bit like 2 minutes away from towns. It's I've been telling you for a long time. You got to come and see it for yourself, and then you'll be a convert. And then you'll be like, next phone call I will get is, Frank, I'm thinking of moving over there. I'll be like, buddy, I come to help you. We bring.
Okay, all right.
I mean,
I'll choose my words and judgments more carefully for the rest of the conversation. I'm watching the show on TV. Oh, look at this. I'm watching the show on TV with the love of my life. I told him everything about you guys. Moaz, who are we talking about here? And morning to you, Moaz's love of Moaz's life there. Great to have you here. And Portuguese dad joke from Pam. Qual é o desodorante preferido dos dinossauros? Is your Portuguese up to that?
yes.
It is.
What is
Mine,
the preferred deodorant for dinosaurs?
Yep. Rejona. Thank you very much. Good material.
Good job, Pam.
Rachel is here as well. Good morning, Rachel. Lots of love to you as well. And Carl. How's Rachel doing, Frank?
She's doing very, very well. She's very happy to see me. And now today we have already planned to do a beach day later in the afternoon, as you do when you're in Algarve.
Okay. Carl, my answer to coping with the neighbor's noise. Not very well, but always breathe. Okay, always breathe. Managing ego, letting go of attachment and gratitude. You're zenning it out there, and then more breathing, getting upset again. And then yes, well, that's one way of doing it. The zen of noisy neighbors. It's a DJ stage near me until 4 a.m. So expect banging tunes. Maybe we need to do some house swapping at these times as well if it gets too much.
I've got another idea, Carl. I've got another idea. These lunatics at night who are like going around, they're obviously drinking some kind of water, right? So you go in with what's that thing called that gives people the runs, and instead of giving them like the regular pills, give them those pills and tell them this is what they're doing. Within no time, you know what's going to happen, right?
I do know what's going to happen.
Yeah. And then give it to everybody else. And within no time, the music will die down, and all of these folks will be busy doing something else, not music.
At which point, you and I can take to the stage with our 80s selection.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. We can start with whatever you want. Bowie, we can do lead, we can do so many different things.
We could have quite a night there. And I mean, that would be horrible. That would be truly horrible, that situation. I think there are two Portaloos there. That scene does not bear thinking about, quite frankly. An interesting plan.
Worth taking pictures of, because this is what happens. This is what happens when you start banging music near Carl Manson's house.
Yes.
We don't break knees no more. We give you the runs.
And set it to Benny Hill music. It'll be so funny.
Yeah.
Pam, do you know that Rejona was named Regina in Portugal before 1974 because people would joke and rhyme with the name Rejona? I didn't know that, but what would they joke and rhyme it with? I wonder there, as like a dictatorship times joke, a bit of aggression in comedic style. Very funny, Stephen. 5 a.m. is before 10 p.m. Carl, yes, very funny. What happened was dance music was doing fine until psytrance came. Then that broke everybody's brains, and nothing has been good on the planet ever since. He's gone to the dark side, Frank. Chill out, dance.
Hallelujah, brother Will.
Chill out dance music could be played at night as everybody shuffles boogies or finds it much easier to ignore it and sleep. Yeah, with psytrance, no chance. Psytrance, no chance. There's a t-shirt I could print up and make some money selling those to those rascals around the corner. No one goes to the festa until 12:31 a.m. Carl, you just have to get into the spirit of things and get that stamina up. To you as well, Pete, this morning. It's the soundtrack and the intensity. I've got no problem with the other festas that I've been to. I love the festa spirit. It's not festa. The age bandwidth. Oh, here comes Miss. Yeah, Mrs. M is mad as hell when she just come in the room. I'm a little bit scared. Private party that's just turned up on the street corner. I think, you know what, the average age, not the age bandwidth, I think, is between 17 and 22 as well, or something like that.
course. That's the age when you don't understand anything. You don't understand food. You don't understand music. You don't understand anything. You don't understand what kind of clothing you're going to wear. You're a proper little moron at that age.
More Frank talk. If you're listening, listen to what my mate Frank is saying. I'll chime in on Migration Monday with my update. Thanks, Emily. Yeah, join us on Monday, of course. Gilda's back on Monday, so we'll talk to Gilda on Migration and the banana with a new name, I suspect. Bon dia, amigos, from Raj this morning. Hey, Raj, how are you? Where are you? In the Algarve, I think, actually. What's this then? Some brand names still change in Portugal nowadays. Hyundai has a model in Portugal named Kauai, but it has different name in the rest of the world. Okay, that's interesting. Yeah, because sometimes they are expletives, aren't they? Like the silver mist. Mist in German is unfortunate, I believe. I'm a Jack Russell. I'm like a Jack Russell. Put a ball in front of me and I'll run. Nothing else will do for exercise. There you go. That's real exercise. I've heard actually over this way there is a walking football club, and they've done so well, the lads from Foz de Relio, that Benfica asked them to play for them in the walking football. Do you get involved in that, Frank? Do you play football at all down there? We want to play cricket, don't we?
Yes, cricket is the thing. I still haven't gotten involved in football. A little bit kick around, not bad, but my thing is cricket. I love cricket.
Okay, so we're well up for having a cricket match after. I think maybe we talked about it last time, but if a number of folks want to get together, we're not the rounders game that the Americans play, the true British cricket game. That would be really marvelous.
You're telling me somebody confused cricket with rounders? Is that what somebody said?
I think some of the Americans sometimes do that.
You should bring me on that show. We'll have a nice conversation, give them a nice education on what the gentleman's game is all about.
Now, Frank is mad about that. There's a lot of hot words around this morning here on a Good Morning. Talking of festivals, you can throw a stone in any direction at the moment and hit a dozen different festivals. That's right, but we don't recommend it. Although I might be doing that tonight. Yes. Anyway, Frank is legendarily modest. There you go. Big Freezer, Frank. That's not his name. Mate, I thought that might, because you're so cool, you might be called Big Freezer Frank, but I don't think that's what he means. Buy all your steaks before winter next year. It's bugs or 95% vegetarian. Cloud seeding, you drop particles into clouds, make it rain. There you go, simple. What do you think of this possibly enforced vegetarianism or the eating of bugs? I suspect you have quite a frank view towards that as well.
Well, but like you want me to get on with the vegans? Is this what we're on about now?
No, I'm just asking.
No vegans eat bugs?
No, I don't think vegans will eat bugs, but there are certain serving suggestions, I will call them, that recommend that we can't go on eating meat and steak the way we are. And they haven't named you specifically, Frank, but we know the finger is pointing in your direction when it comes.
Here's the deal. Eat as much meat as you can until it's all done, and then we'll deal with whatever grass or vegetables or alfalfa, whatever you want me to eat. I'll eat at that time. Before that, we'll eat meat. Let's be merry. We know it's Portugal. If somebody wants to be a vegetarian, somebody wants to be a vegan, it's a free country.
Yes.
But eat your meat, enjoy your meat, slap your meat, do all kinds of things.
Okay, and you'll be proud. I met with Tony yesterday, the real Portuguese real estate legend, Tony Barbosa. Yeah, he really is. You'd have been proud of the food we had. Oh my goodness, Frank, you must come and join us for this. This is 3 lunch dates. The Silver Coast one yesterday, and I'll tell you what we had in just a moment. And then we'll go up north to the Minho with him, and we'll have an amazing time up there. And then you'll entertain us down in the Algarve. This should be a thing, right? Every year. Yesterday. Yes. These lovely lagartos, I think they were called. They were grilled pork steaks, mini pork or pieces, chunks of pork on the grill with sea salt on. Oh, they were good. Espetada de lulas, squid and prawn skewer. You know, on the heavy lifting gear that comes and it's hanging down, and the marinade is dripping on a pile of potatoes beneath it. And
he's produced and mined and dined you. What's going on? Is this a new bromance that we're on about?
Oh, don't get mad! Don't get mad! Come on, man! Don't get mad about that. You must enjoy this. Yeah.
So you enjoyed. I saw the selection. You posted a picture. It was beautiful.
And grandma in the kitchen, her signature beans to go with that, with rice, a salad, some chips, and some green beans. It was magnificent. It was brilliant. I can't wait till we all
I
get
have a
together.
question to ask. I have a question to ask.
Yeah.
See, so now that you're not a teetotaler,
Yes.
and now that you've joined the ranks of the debaucherous folks,
Yep.
what is? I haven't checked the temperature since. So tell me, how do you feel now? What's going on?
What after a year of not drinking and starting drinking
After a
again?
year of like is everything like you're enjoying it? This is a new and improved Carl Manson. What's going on?
Well, I'm still no fan of red wine, especially. I mean, I'll drink it, but I don't think it's delicious in any way. I loved a Vinha Verde that I had the other day that a neighbor gave me. Put it in the freezer. Was his suggestion an hour before drinking it. Absolutely loved it. It wasn't acidic. It was delicious and refreshing, and it was a Minho one, I think.
Tell them all what gets the panties off. Come on.
It got mine off. No one seemed to be very interested, but yeah, there I was, pantless after a glass of Vinho and beer. I am enjoying being on beer again, Frank. I really am. It was yesterday, very convivial. A few beers with Tony. I've got a picture actually that I want to share with you. I don't think he's going to thank me for sharing this picture because he's getting stuck into the grub, and it's not the most flattering picture of Tony. But it gives everyone an idea of what the food was like yesterday. Yeah, I think he's very busy eating the food in this picture. But I got to show you because it was. I think I might have sent it to you yesterday, didn't I? But I want everyone else to see this. This is Típico da Serra, a very traditional Portuguese type of restaurant, a hostelry, family run, and that spread that told you about there. Oh, look, the kebabs have been eaten. They've been stripped of their out of there. Lovely surroundings.
He looks. He's about to have a food orgasm.
Yes, exactly. I think he did. It was like that scene. What's that scene in that film? He was doing that. What's the name? Not Goldie Hawn.
It was. I know which movie where she actually does the orgasming, but
I think so.
Not literally, but
not literally. That's what it was like with Tony yesterday in the cafe. Yes. So shout out to Tony. Okay. We have questions about Canada. And we've got to do the weather. We've only got 20 minutes to go, everybody. We're hanging out nicely. Is there any other way? Is there any other way here this morning? Okay, so we're not a big fan of the bugs. Good morning, gents. Good to have you home, Frank, from Mr. Perkins. And of course, the old crew will be back together again on Monday evening, will we not, Frank?
Absolutely. Doing the wine, doing Mr. Austin's wine. He's picked a beautiful wine. I hope everyone is there. And Mr. Austin, our big superstar, starts the show off.
Yeah, and he's very good at this. He will tell the backstory. He will he'll educate us and entertain us. Some of us in the crew just entertain, but some of us, like Garvo,
speak for yourself.
Also educate, and that's what the great Garvo will be doing on Monday evening, 1st of August. The Good Morning Portugal Food and Wine Club returns. Do join us. Get that cat's paw red from the Dow and enjoy it. That on screen. It's like Gogglebox with booze. It's great fun. Hold on a minute.
And one thing about North America, the wines. You only get a small selection from Portugal because, as we've established already, Portugal does not export the good wines. It's the Periquita and the Alhandras that go over there. The good wines are kept over here for us to enjoy. Beautiful, but minimum, the most horrible, like the minimum wine will be about like $12, $13 minimum. And we're talking about, like, it's remember I posted a picture of like these 3 Italian wines. It was about $45-$50 for 3 bottles of wine, man. Stop laughing. I spent good money on it. It was good wine too, but it was very expensive. Seriously.
Well, thankfully, we don't have that problem. I think there would be another revolution in Portugal. If they start putting up the price of coffee and wine here, people are not going to stand for that. I don't think.
Vino, pão are two things that if there is any kind of revolution, I think it's going to start there.
Yeah, absolutely. Don't do it. Please, Portuguese government, don't do that. Don't mess with the people here on that level. And the soup. There's always got to be soup on the menu. This is another beautiful thing about Portugal. Everyone can eat pretty much, can't they? Because there's always going to be soup on the menu. It's not like the restaurateurs don't say, "Oh, can't be bothered with soup. It doesn't make enough money." It's actually probably quite a good profit on it. And there's always going to be soup for somebody, so you can always eat, right?
Yeah, it's extremely wet stew sometimes, not necessarily a soup, but you'll still eat it. Sometimes at the beach, you see people with like, who goes to the beach and has soup? But I've now gotten used to it because I am Portuguese, and I've gotten used to people right next to me having soup while I'm sipping on something cold. However, I'm not judging them. First few times I did, I'd be like, "Hey, what are you doing?" After that, I was like, okay, this is how you roll here.
Thank you for that. And I think I think you truly have passed the threshold. If you've parked on a roundabout and eaten soup in summer, you are Portuguese, my friend. So well done on that. Nice t-shirt. Ground control to Major Tom. There we go. Fabrizio and Ian. Yeah, excellent. It's going to be a lot of fun having Fabrizio and Ian on the show again soon. Project Lisboeta there. Pee in bottles. No, don't. Oh, maybe. Because the world is having a fertilizer problem. Save your pee. Recycle it. Share it with neighbors.
Would you suggest we pee in plastic bottles or glass bottles, Will?
Yes. Probably an old goat bladder, I suspect. In a traditional
goat bladder. That's very, very good. It might come out like all refreshed and fertilized.
Unlikely.
Is that a gardening tip? Is that a gardening tip?
It is. I think it is. Happy homesteaders. Will not be on your screen on Monday. We'll be back the Monday after, and we may well be talking about fertilizer in that way if Will joins us. The biggest airplanes in the world are able to land in Beja, so we'll not have any sniggering about Beja. Thank you very much. It has a big airstrip. Okay. Indoor site.
EMT, well, what do you call it? The motor license place where everyone from Algarve goes there. It's an Algarvian secret. You don't go to Faro, you go to Beja.
Ah, very good. Nice little hack there, life hack. If you want to go get an IMT appointment, go to Beja. Yeah, I mean, at Faro, it's going to be a queue out the door, isn't there, around the block of people eating soup in the sun. Indoor cycling doesn't work for me either. Top cyclist Sarah, but I know an awesome gravel racer who uses an indoor trainer. I thought Gilda's dog, the sausage dog, was the gravel racer. But anyway, who uses an indoor trainer? She podiums. I beg your pardon. Every bicycle is beautiful, even the kind that don't roll. I feel a song coming on.
Carl, you're not the only one who podiums. There you go.
It's so nice to know I have company elsewhere in the world. Podium brothers and sisters from other mothers. Hola, bon dia todos. Faixa do dia. Pump me up. Thank you very much. We've got so many comments to get through here, Frank, in the remaining minutes of the show. Competent people running a country. I don't think it will catch on. Stop it. How is it? How is the quality of life in Portugal compared to Canada? Over to you, Frank, from Alex Rappaport there.
Lifestyle, you don't come over here to make money. In this country, you want to live within your resources, but as far as lifestyle is concerned, it is a huge upgrade in life, as everyone who lives over here and loves this country will attest to.
Yep, there you go. And going back to your other political commentary earlier on, in the government in Portugal, we already had white people, black people, brown people, Indian descent peoples, gypsies as well. Everybody represented in the Portuguese government. Yes, a utopia. Jack, yes, we'll pop over to the Sundowner. That sounds like the weekend is already beginning in the Algarve, doesn't it there? With Seth stalled for at least 3 to 4 months. Just imagine how long the queue is getting. Bowie would have joined in. Look, okay, stop it. I'm not would he have joined in? I can't say I'm a techno fan, but I do like trance. Everyone's declaring their guilty music secrets this morning, I think. Has a gorgeous, crisp, clean, delightful swim at Praia de Calveira yesterday. Heavenly. Where to swim today? Stop showing off, Victoria, with all your possible swimming venues down there. They've shut some of the swimming pools, haven't they? But you don't need them anyway and go to the beach, right?
When you've got a proper beach, you don't need to. When you're in Algarve, God's beach is right in front of you. You go over there, God's pool is there. You just go and do your business. Right near where we are. It's about 6 different places to go and swim, Victoria. Come on.
But don't do your business. Beja Airport is Beja Alentejo. Huge upset as why the airport is not open to international flights as millions spent. It's big enough, but it's virtually unused. Though they want a second Lisbon airport. Oh, that's touched a nerve for Mr. Perkins there. I just tuned in to hear Frank saying everyone should be set on fire. No, that was we do need context on that one there. Metaphorically, I am assuming here, and just a little word of warning to get through to the thick skulls of the trance dancers who kept us awake all night last night, Louise. We can explain. Hiya, Frank. Glad you made it home in one piece. These are comments some time ago. You two sound like a couple of old curmudgeons with all this. That's not music. Sounds like my father back in the 60s.
Your dad was a very smart guy and he knew his music. There you go.
There you go. So Jeff Carl could do Star Wars references finally. David Durham's even here because of you, Frank. I'll have on the agenda. I'm back in Portugal, August 27th. Let's party. Yes, again, very funny, but I'll choose the music. Me and Frank will do the playlist. Bon dia, amigos, from, Manuel, good morning to you from UKGB. How's it going over there? If I lived in central Lisbon, I'd accept the late loud music coming from the clubs, but if I lived in the countryside, I'd be mad as hell. Yeah, there needs to be some nuance in this conversation. I'm not making summary judgments, even though it really does sound like it. Light pollution is not too heavy. Thank you very much. Is that a joke as well? Yes, of course. Yes, of course it is. Night sky in Moncarapacho is much darker than Metro New York City area. Thank you for that, Gene. Rebel, your face is amazing. I should record a little message for you, shouldn't I, in the Bowie voice, maybe? Yes. Hi, Frank. David Bowie here. Wishing you a very
Bowie, by the way, it's Bowie.
Oh, okay. All right. Not that. The Algarve bashing must stop. Oh, more nerves touched. It's a nervy show this morning, isn't it? There are so many. It must stop. There are so many beautiful parts of Portugal. There are so many wonderful parts of the Algarve. It's just different. Okay. And that Rebel reference was from Justin Irwin. Good morning to you. I agree. Always depends on which part of the city one lives. Where I live in Albufeira, no noise at all during the night, as strange as it might seem. Sorry, I've just been deprived of sleep. Did I mention that? I went yesterday and bought the paint for the boys' bedrooms. So my weekend off sorted thanks to Minister of Home Affairs. Have a good one. Hope it's not too hot while you're painting. Is the floating hand mad? It is. Be careful of a mad floating hand, everybody. Be careful out there. And God, you two sound like my father and his father and his father before him. All wise
men, all wonderful men. Let's have a nice clap for your dad and his dad and the other dad.
Yes, indeed. Drugs. No, it's not the same Frank. Talk to Frank. That was a different campaign, not involving this one here. We hasten to add.
No drugs,
apart from alcohol.
From alcohol.
Buy me a beer. You have
probably, especially for Carl Manson, if you want to see the knickers come off.
Nobody wants to see that, Frank. Nobody should have to see that. You have my utter sympathy, says Deborah. It would drive me nuts talking about knickers coming off. I might get to find out what a PT police cell looked like if I was there. Oh, that's got her mad up as well, hasn't it? From a distance too. Carl, yes, this is Raji from Faro. Where's that? Oh, yes. Nice T-shirt. Fabrizio again wants to say ground control to Major Tom. I'm always good for a cricket match. Yes! Going to start crowdfunding to get me to the game. All right, so the cricket match, I think, is on. Matty is here. Bom dia, criaturas de Pombal e Festa de Bordo. Yes, the Boom Festival is happening at the moment, isn't it? If you love Bowie, then you need to hear Nile Rodgers and the Chic Organisation play Let's Dance, put on your red shoes and dance the blues.
Rockstar.
Yeah, that is a proper hybrid, isn't it? To bring that talent in as well. Ralph Roll, the drummer from Chic, makes it really funky. After all, it was Niall that produced it. What a tune! One of my favorites of the Bowie. Okay, the insect food was already in the news 30. Yeah, they do wheel it out, don't they, every year? And nothing new there. And yeah, sky prawns they're called, aren't they? And a fake whittle. A fake whittle.
Sky prawns? Like the real prawns are gone. Now we gotta wait for prawns to be thrown from the sky. Is that what's going on?
Mate, locusts are
You're
sky.
eating locusts now.
Yeah.
Nice.
Meat, says Victoria.
Yeah,
She's
I'll
crying
stick
out
to
for
the
meat.
Thank you very much.
Crying out for meat in the Algarve. You're killing veg with your beliefs. Carrots have feelings too. Oh my god, not enforced. Lack of choice. There won't be enough unless you're rich as hell, which is not a problem for Frank. There simply won't be enough. I'm not saying you're going to choose. I'm saying you won't be able to. He's full of the joys of spring this morning. Frank, what did you mean when you said slap your meat and enjoy? Porco
You know
preto.
what I mean, Perv.
Porco Preto with is it any clearer now, Amelie, why he's the legend? Porco Preto with monkfish wrapped in bacon. There's some nice surf and turf going on there, isn't there? That sounds
Yes.
all right.
Porco with monkfish. Oh, this is beautiful food. This is what we
Mm,
are here for, folks.
it is. It is. Let me just show that picture again of Tony yesterday with the foodgasm going on there.
Look at that.
There
This
you
man,
go.
he's tucking into it. He's saying, Carl, I don't even know you right now. Look at what's in front of me. Who are you, Carl Munson? I've got this in front of me.
And actually, it doesn't portray him in the best light in a number of ways, not least that he's got all the food on his side of the table there, isn't he? I think. Tony, I'm going to watch out for that.
Intentionally.
Yeah. Next time we eat together, mate. Morning, Vicky. Are you in Spain or the Algarve this morning? Hope you found a lovely, tranquil beach today. I'm sure she will, Pete. And stop making me hungry. Hold on a minute. There's loads more comments. Don't hide Frank's sausages. Never do that.
Never.
Not telling anyone what you should do. I'm telling you what's going to happen. Yes. Okay. Fair enough. There, Will. The current availability of meat is a result of the market flooded as so many farmers give up and selling off their animals, couldn't afford feed, and rain never came. That's on top of diesel prices and ridiculous fertilizer green agenda policies. Thank you, Will. Hiya, Pete from I'm in Portimao, looking to swim in Praia de Val today. I think easier to get to than Praia de Rocha with its 100 steps down the cliffs. A bit of step exercise, if that's what it's called there. What's Praia de Val like, Frank? Do you know that one?
Yes, right next to there's Praia de Rocha, and the next one is Tres Castelos, and the next one is Praia de Val. Beautiful. And
No
then there's
steps.
Alemão. There's so many options of one after another. The locals go over there. It's you know.
Okay.
I don't know what you want me to say. This is how it goes.
Stop making me hungry. I'm going to have to leave the show and go eat. You made me think of what we call spit braai, which again doesn't sound utterly appetizing, got to say. It's a lamb slow roast on a rotisserie with veg, taters, and onion cooking. And oh, ergo, Will still going vis-a-vis. If you want to keep eating steak for a while, get a bigger freezer and stock up now. Okay, full circle on that. When Harry Met Sally, that's the one, isn't it? That Tony was replaying yesterday. Frank and Sally, I think, was the movie or something similar. Yes, Meg Ryan, it was. Thank you, everybody, for that. Meg Ryan and Billy Crystal. Well done, everyone, helping me with my memory there. Beja has the aircraft boneyard. I guess, yeah, where you see all the old aircraft there. That would be an interesting place to see. Electronic music is as relevant as classic or jazz. Oh, let's not open that can of worms right now.
I thought we were friends. What have you just done? Come on, brother.
I don't think Frank can be friends with you anymore with statements like that. My dad was talking about the music you two are raving about. Very funny. Lisbon can be quiet as a mouse. Yeah, of course it can. And normally my neighborhood is this as well. That's why we like it.
Andy's neighborhood. Really a neighborhood. A shout out to Andy's neighborhood. Beautiful, beautiful neighborhood. Very nice.
Bom dia a todos from Pretty Porto this morning. Hey, Jim. How you doing? And let me go to the comments that don't have an at on them. Hi, Carl y amigos from Kate. We want to look at the weather. I've got to update you on the fire situation. Don't want to end on that note, though. And Cindy B saying, fondle that like button for this frankly great show. Bon fils man. Oh, bless you. Cindy B. Right. Okay. So that weather, then let's have a look at the weather together and see whether the Algarve has the best weather.
Together, you're going to see clear skies now. You're not going to like it.
I wonder. It hasn't been the hottest weather, Frank, though, has it? In recent times, that's been central Portugal that's had the real.
What I've been hearing is, I wasn't here, but in the past week or two, it's like people are like it's pretty much people have been as we say, they've been burning their ties. It's been very, very hot over here.
Okay, it's so hot in Portugal at the moment. The weather just won't. It's just so hot. The weather can't even crawl to the screen right
But
now.
I'm not complaining because 3 weeks I was in Canada, and this is supposed to be like, in Canada you get what, 4 weeks, 4 months of summer. It was cloudy, it was everything, and I wasn't complaining to my mom. I was like, you see, mom, you see, this is why I'm there.
Yep, indeed. And Lisbon, then this mum, look, this is why he's here in Faro. We'll show you that in a minute. Lisbon, the high will be 28 today, currently 21, 30 and 31. I'm going to give you the weekend weather, 30 and 31 in the capital. That's 86 and 88 for the bilingual meteorologist. Porto, 28 and 27 over the weekend. Coimbra, look at this, Frank, 40 and 39 Saturday and Sunday, respectively.
Currently, the place I was seduced to and left alone. Oh, that's a place.
Oh, we nearly had a whole show without that. I shouldn't have done that. That ended on a sour note like that. But that place, 40 and 39, currently a very comfortable 21, as you'll remember, because you thought it was a bit damp there, didn't you? Faro, look at this, 26 and 27 over the weekend.
Look at the rest of the week. There is, look at that. Is that sunshine every day? Sunshine every day. It's so much sunshine that I just getting tired of it.
You can't say that about everywhere. Not Aveiro, which will be 29 and 29 at the weekend. Beja, look at this, aforementioned Beja, 38 and 40. Braga, 39 and 37. You're right, Antonio F. It's a hot one. 41, Castelo Branco on Saturday. Predicted high, 39 on Sunday. 39 and 40. Evra, 34 and 33 on Saturday and Sunday in Leiria. Santarém has been hot recently, 39 and 40. 38 and 40 also in Viseu. And I think the highest then probably will be going to Castelo Branco as we scroll down there. I'll put the link to that weather so that you can check it out for yourself. Just very quickly then, what I'll do is instead of giving you a fire report, I think it's very important that anyone who needs to be staying alert and safe, obviously, should have the fogos.pt website, which I will put into the chat for you now in case you haven't got it. Please have this. Please know what's going on and use this resource, which is a website, and it's also an app that you can download. And ProCiv, I don't know if they have an app, but they have a fantastic website telling you of all the civil emergencies that are going on around the country and what sort of state of resolution or progress they're in. They are both on the screen for you now, prociv.pt and fogos.pt. Final words then, Frank. It's been wonderful. You are the smile on the coffee, my friend. That is you right there. And sometimes you are giving a very direct, pithy and frank view of life, not unlike my dog Jimmy there recently.
Jimmy and I will be doing the same thing. I need to do that same pose with Jimmy next time there is music pollution like that.
I can't wait to see you both doing that. A woman that jumps from one man to another is called, we haven't solved that. We did have that. She's called a PA. That's what people were talking about in the chat. Very good. A personal assistant. And just a final couple of comments then. I love sunshine every day. Pete, are you in the cave tonight? The man cave tonight, of course. Rounders is an Irish sport that Americans developed into baseball. Rounders, part of the GAA, the Gaelic Athletic Association. Thank you. Sounds fabulous, Chris. Says Pete, will she do tea for the cricket match? Yes, while we're on the subject, why not ask? Cucumber sandwiches and scones, please. Rima, who made a bifana, and it was amazing. The best one I tasted, made with love. The best ingredient of all, as we know. The harp recital I went to was partly electronic, really unusual sound. Some of it was like 90s chant music. I liked it. People just will not leave it alone, will they? I like the new band, The Smile. A little music tip for you there from David.
Nice one, David. I'm going to check that one out as long as it's not doof, 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 doof.
Yes, love you, Frank, despite your music taste. There you go. Brotherly love outbreak on the screen there. Thanks, Antonio. Portuguese with a lovely smile there. And Jorge Oliveira here. Bon dia, Antonio. Jorge joining us this morning as well. Great to see you here. Thanks for being here. And I thought it was a dad joke. Here we go. Final one for the day then. What do you call a lady who hangs between buildings? Annette. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you, Frank, for being here. We'll see you next month, mate. Have a lovely weekend wherever it is you live. Oh, yes, the Algarve. Have a great time. Lots of love to Rachel as well, and all our friends down there in the south. Have a good one, my friend. And all of you, we will see you again soon. Bon fin de semana. Ciao, ciao.